There's a little one. Little baby wind turbine. Good afternoon, YouTubes. Car biker here. And I don't know how well you're going to be able to hear this one. It's very, very windy today. And although I'm only doing 30 miles an hour, the wind across the bike is really strong and quite gusty, so hopefully it won't drown me out too much. It's another lunchtime, another half hour I get for my lunch, and I'm not eating. I thought I'd just go for half an hour on the bike instead. It's amazing how half an hour can brighten up your day when it's on a bike, even when it's as cold and windy as it is at this time of year. I had a strange one recently. I found I'm getting a flat battery and I'm not being able to start my vehicle. Only the vehicle in question isn't the bike, it's the car. And I think the main problem is that I don't use it enough. Now that I bought the bike, I seem to want to ride everywhere and driving's just become boring. So I'm actually leaving the car in the garage most of the time and the battery's just going flat. So I've had to get one of those chargers that just sits there, charges the car up and then just sits there with a trickle charge on, maintaining the battery charge level. Anyway, talking about electricity, I've been watching Suburban Rider, great channel. He's got 12 to 60 videos, far too many for me to have watched them all yet. But he's a biker and also a science fan, and which kind of matches me really. I definitely got a science bias, and he's been riding around in America showing us a few wind farms, so I thought I'd pop out and show you a wind farm that's quite close to where I live. This is the Sober Hill wind farm, and I don't know, I quite know how many turbines it's got. I can't see them all from here, but probably half a dozen, maybe as many as 10. And there's a few smaller ones around that I don't think are part of the wind farm. I think are just that the farmers are using. And I love wind farms. I think they're fantastic. I know there's a lot of people who are against them, although apparently that number is coming right down now. I know people are against them and come up with lots of reasons why they don't like them, but I think they're beautiful things. You know, they're modern. They're what you kind of expected the world to be powered by, you know, by now. When you looked at, you know, if you were back there in well, in my case in the 70s, looking at science fiction, this is the kind of thing you expected to see. You know, you didn't, oh, look at all that mud. You weren't looking at coal and gas and all that kind of stuff. You wanted to see these magical white buildings creating energy from the sun or the wind. And yet we've barely got any of them. Although we're getting a lot more in the UK. It's, you know, it's starting to be one of our sources of power. To me, it's kind of better in a lot of ways than the other sources of power that we use. I mean, obviously, gas is something we use a lot of, and it's quite an efficient way of generating electricity. But gas is going to run out, and gas prices are soaring, and they're only going to get higher. And then we also use a lot of coal. Now, we have got a lot of coal in this country, and I'm sure we probably should start mining it again. But I would imagine that if we do, we'll probably end up selling it to other countries rather than using it ourselves. How far I can get away with getting in here. Probably not very, because it says it's private property and keep out. So I probably shouldn't go any further in this gate. So yeah, coal is, you know, we've got loads of it in the UK. We could really make use of it, but we don't particularly mine it anymore. So that doesn't, you know, I suppose it's viable if we start mining again. And then we've got nuclear. And nuclear, obviously, they say it's a low carbon way of generating electricity and kind of clean, but I wouldn't want to live around Sellafield, and I certainly wouldn't want to live in the area around Fukushima in Japan, because when these things are working well, they generate massive amounts of electricity. But when they go wrong potentially in a very big way. And they keep telling us how safe the modern reactors are, but that risk is always there, isn't it? And people talk about nuclear as if it's some kind of resource that will last forever, but it's, in a way, it's just like coal and gas. It's a limited resource. There's only a certain amount of the various materials available around the world, and people complain about these things. Some people think they're ugly. As I say, I think they're marvellous looking things. Some people complain that they kill birds, but the RSPB have said that as long as they're sighted properly, they're fine. And various studies have shown that when you see birds crashing into buildings, it's because the buildings have got lots of glass on, and the birds don't realise that there's a wall there, whereas these things are not reflective, so they don't have that problem. People complain they're an eyesore. They were putting in a farm, or wanted to put in a farm in a place where my wife was originally from, or well, not originally from, but where she lived when I met her, and it was a seaside town, and they had 10 reasons why they shouldn't have it. One of them was nobody will want to come to our seaside town anymore, so the economy will suffer. And you could almost say, well, fair enough, that might be a possibility, except 3 or 4 further down the list was there will be so many people coming to see the wind farm that all the roads will be congested with traffic. So those two things don't quite go together. I think it's probably a lot of NIMBYism going on. People complain about the noise, but I'm pretty close to them now. I can't hear them at all. People complain they use a lot of farmland, but these are slap bang in the middle of farmland that's still being used, so that can't be true either. And then people say they're not efficient, but people talk about the load factor really rather than the efficiency. And yes, they might only be turning 30% of the energy of the wind into electricity, but the wind is free, and in this part of the world it's not going away anytime soon. Whereas if you're only burning oil and coal and getting 50% efficiency, that 50% that you're not getting is wasted, and it's not coming back for another million years. So I say we should build more of these, and more renewables in general. Be good to see us as an island surrounding ourselves with a lot of tidal power as well, because that's more predictable than the wind and can generate energy in much the same way. Just a few problems of corrosion and worries about marine life to sort out, but these things are not insurmountable. Anyway, they're my thoughts on wind farms. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Ride safe. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Just a quick final point about wind farms, really. And all I would say is, if they want to get people more on board with them, they should make them designed like this. This is the windmill at Skidby, which is near Hull. It's a little bit older than the wind farm at Sober Hill, but it's certainly an attraction, and property prices are higher if you live near it, and people come to see it. Beautiful old thing, isn't it? There you go, Skidby Mill. Bye bye, YouTubers.